welcome back to my channel. This video is called Do Your Loved Ones Visit You Before You're Ready to Pass On? Now, I believe this. I believe this 100%. I do believe that there is something to this, and I believe that when you're ready to pass on, I believe that your loved ones do show themselves to you and do comfort you and do tell you that it's okay to transcend. Now, I have a few reasons why I believe this to be true. Now, when my mother passed away, she passed away in the year 2013. No? Yeah, 2013. My mother was in a coma and she was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. And every time I would go to visit her, which was every single day, she would wake up for a few minutes and I would always get very, very hopeful that she was waking up and she was ready to come home. But sadly, that did not happen. So during the times that she would wake up, she would point to a chair that was in her room and she would tell me, "Debbie, do you see your dad?" And I would look towards the chair and I didn't see anything. And she would say to me, "He's smiling at me, Debbie. He's shaking his head, yes. He is putting his hand out to me. Do you see him, Debbie? Do you see your dad?" And I didn't see him. Now, my mother would always talk about when I was a child how she would see spirits. So it really wasn't too far-fetched that she would tell me that she was seeing my father. But I kind of feel as though this goes beyond that. It goes beyond her just seeing my dad. I kind of feel as though when you're ready to pass on, I kind of feel as though there is a veil that separates us, that separates our world and the spirit world. And I feel like when you're ready to transcend, I feel like that veil becomes very, very thin. And I kind of feel it becomes so thin that you can actually see through it. And I feel as though you can see through it and they, the spirits, they, your relatives, can also see and communicate fully with you. I believe that at that moment, my father was telling my mother that he was ready for her to go. And I feel like he was in his own way comforting her and putting his hand out to her and telling her that it was okay for her to let go and go to the next level, which would be heaven. Also, my father had passed away in the year 2012. My mother was telling me weeks prior to him passing on that he would be sitting in the living room. Now, mind you, my father never, ever, ever in all the years that him and I would try to get into very deep conversations with my father on like spirituality and mediumship and things that I see. And I was always trying to pick on my father's brain. My father did not believe in any of this. So it was very odd that he would talk about this to my mom. But my mother told me that during the last few weeks of my father's life, that he would be sitting in the living room and my mother would be in bed and that she can clearly see him from her bed and he'd be sitting on the couch and he would be talking to someone and there would be nobody there that she can see. So he would be having a full conversation with someone that wasn't there. Well, the person probably was there, obviously, but she couldn't see him. But he can clearly see. So this went on for a few weeks. And my mother at one point looked at him and said, "Paul, who are you talking to?" And he answered her and he said, "My mother. My mother's here. Do you see her? I've been seeing her every night and we've been talking." So now it's very, very strange for a man that didn't believe in all of this, didn't believe in seeing spirits, now is all of a sudden talking to my mother about how he is in fact seeing his mother that passed away in 1967. So I found that to be very, very strange. Now, I do remember also my mother telling me that right before her mother passed away, she was talking to her, and that she was also saying that she was seeing her husband, my grandfather, and that he was visiting her. So, I mean, I believe that there is something to this, and I'm sure if you guys thought about it, you can probably also remember times when your relatives or your friends were, ready to make that transition, and they were also saying how they were seeing their loved ones showing themselves to them. So there has to be something to this. When I had cancer, it was very, very strange. I had cancer back in the year 2001, and I was seeing my relatives, and it was really weird. I was seeing my relatives, and I thought that I was getting ready to cross over because I kept seeing them. And thank God, I think that at the time I was really nervous that they were getting ready to take me, and that I was getting ready to also cross over. But I don't think that was the case. Obviously, I'm still here. So I believe that they were around me telling me that everything was going to be okay. So what I was seeing was my spirit guides. So I kind of feel like it can go one of two ways. That there are times when they're around you because they're trying to calm you down, to let you know that they're there for you and that everything is going to be okay. But I also feel like they're also there ready to transition you to the other side. It's something that is highly fascinating. I feel like it's highly fascinating. I hope my friend doesn't mind this. She recently told me because her father had passed away back in June, and she was telling me all about how when her father was ready to pass away, that her mother was telling her that he was seeing his mother and he was talking to his mom. And I kind of said to her, you know what that means, don't you? And she's like, yes, I know what that means. He was getting ready to transition. He was getting ready to pass on, and he kept telling his wife that he kept seeing his mother and that she was talking to him, and he was seeing her and having a conversation with her. So I do believe that, your loved ones do come to you when you're ready to transition. I mean, to me, it makes full sense that they would come to get you so that you're not scared. Because, I mean, let's face it, I'm sure that when you're ready to pass away, I'm sure it's scary. I'm sure it is. I mean, we're all going to know what it's like. And I would hope that my mom and my dad will be there to take me up. I hope it happens. It's really weird because when I was a young child, and I would always talk, because even from a very, very young age, I've always been fascinated by all of this. And I would always talk to my mom and dad, and I would always tell them, Mom, when I'm ready to die, are you going to be there to wait for me at the gate? Because when I was a child, I always thought that there was a gate, like a heaven's gate, and that I didn't call it a veil. I always thought that there was like a gate, and that your relatives waited beyond the gate, and that when you transitioned, that they would open up the gate, and that you would just walk through, and that they would hug you and welcome you. And I always believed when I was a child that that's how it was. So I would always tell my mom and dad, can you please wait for me at Heaven's Gate when it's my turn to transcend? And they always told me yes. So I truly believe that when it's my turn to go to heaven, I believe that my mother and my father will be ready for me and they will be waiting for me to take me. I truly believe this. And you know what? I just think it's a very, very comforting thought that your relatives are waiting for you. I just feel like it's a very, very comforting thought. And I hope that that's a comforting thought for you guys as well. That when you're ready to go up, that your mother, your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, your uncles are going to be waiting for you. Even your pets. I'm sure your pets will be waiting for you as well. Anyway, that's just a little story I wanted to share, and a topic that I wanted to talk about. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please like and subscribe, and have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.